Welcome to DROD'S MMA Boxing. Today's hot topic is a debate between me and Mr. Chael Sonnen. I'm not here to attack his character or anything of that nature. I think it's just a friendly debate, and hopefully you guys like it. Now, the first thing he said, grappling has been going on for 2+ decades. Actually, no. It's been going on a lot longer, and it started off in Brazil, where these guys were fighting in stadiums and backyards and homes, and then it evolved into the United States in 1993 and became known as this worldwide event as mixed martial arts, right? You might say, oh, well, it started in Japan. You're right. So if you try to say, oh, it hasn't done anything in 2+ decades, you cannot compare Jiu Jitsu with, let's say, basketball. Basketball has been a sport for centuries. It materialized in the United States later on, but it was only because it had been a sport for so many years and people all around the world had already been playing basketball, right? So you have to understand that part of it, that Jiu Jitsu has been developing from judo to Brazil, and then it carried over into the United States. It started off as mixed martial arts, and then Jiu-Jitsu competitors were able to compete in Jiu-Jitsu tournaments, do seminars, make money, and develop schools and create students who are now tuning in and watching Jiu-Jitsu events. So to say that grappling isn't going anywhere in the 2+ decades is actually because there's a misunderstanding of what's happening, right? Next, he said, well, you won't see it on Jim Rome or any type of broadcast. So the X Games competitors are not on Jim Rome, and when the X Games took off, they didn't need ESPN or anyone else or any broadcast things. They took off, and then what happened was then ESPN came and then said, you know what, these people are blowing up. Then they started to attract sponsors and television coverage. And you can't say that because I don't even see wrestling. Wrestling has been going on a lot longer than Jiu-Jitsu sports events, but you don't see people on Hot Take or anything of that nature or Jim Rome. The next thing he says, well, the rules. I agree. We do need to have some rules, but you can't say it's not growing because of the rule sets are being different, because Mr. Chael Sonnen, the grappling had to have been somewhat popular because you created your own event, and your rules did not follow the most popular events, which is ADCC and IBJJF. If you agree with that philosophy, then you would have said, okay, more people are tuned in to watch ADCC, let me follow that format. More people are tuned in to IBJJF, let me follow that, right? So, yeah, grappling, it still can grow. I think the problem with the rule set is that we have to do a lot better job of explaining the rules to people and not bashing and criticizing each other and each other's rules. So the friction in the sport of grappling is not really the different rules, it's people trying to elevate themselves by bashing other people, right? He mentioned Gordon Ryan, and Gordon Ryan competes and he does this, and okay, he does, but he doesn't compete in the gi, right? So we cannot bash the other players, the other fighters that do not want to do submission only rules, but yet they compete in the gi. Mr. Gordon Ryan competes in everything no gi, but he doesn't compete in gi. So we got to respect each other and each competitor and what they're able to bring to the table and not criticize them. I think once we stop criticizing people, then the sport aspect will improve, right? And we got to do a better job explaining the rules and show people how to appreciate the sport. You know, when people watch chess, you got speed chess, and then you have the regular kind of chess. Nobody criticizes chess players because they don't understand the different rule sets. No, they explain and they teach people about chess. Majority of the people that compete in chess are actually chess competitors themselves. So they were taught and trained to respect the different aspects of chess. And now guys like Magnus Carlsen are able to make $4.3 million playing chess, right? So what's going to cause the sport of grappling to become profitable is people stop criticizing and teaching each other, teaching competitors the history of the martial art and to respect it for what it is, right? We also have, you have Olympic basketball and NBA basketball and European basketball. They're all different rule set, but yet they're able to continue to thrive. NBA players are able to go and compete in Europe, and European players are able to come and compete here. United States able to win Olympic games, even though the rules are different. Why? Because we care about the sport aspect, and we teach people about the sport and to educate the people. We take time to educate them, not criticizing the rules, but educate the people. And the same thing needs to happen with the sport of grappling, and that's all it needs in order to grapple, to grow. Next, he keeps saying it's a sport. You're right, Mr. Chael Sonnen, it is not a sport, it is a martial art. Once we understand that it's a martial art and respect the martial art aspect, it will grow. The majority of people that watch these events are actually competitors themselves, or someone who is tied to a competitor, right? So in other words, we need to do a better job of explaining to people the martial arts aspect. Then everything else makes sense. Well, I don't like submission only. Well, the reason why we have submission only is because it is a measurement of the efficiency of someone's technique to be able to withstand an attacker. So if you fought an attacker who was stronger than you, faster than you, you would be able to withstand that person by being durable and having proper techniques to win that fight. I don't like points. Well, the reason why we have points is because we are appreciating the quality of a technique to pass a guard, to get to a submission, to get a takedown. I don't like advantages. Well, advantages is also an appreciation of techniques. You may not be able to pass a guard, but you did do a great job of getting to the technique. You see, they have the same rules in judo, and there's no problem with judo because people respect the martial arts part of it, and they understand how difficult it is to even get close to a throw. So, other than that, I hope I hit that on top of the head. Number one, Jiu-Jitsu will grow when we start working together, and number two, the same rules. We just need to do a better job and stop criticizing and helping each other, explaining the rules to each other, and it's not a sport, it is a martial art. And as far as the broadcast, we don't need it, it'll come. Look, Mario Lopez competed in the gi, he won, and then we had another guy named Tom Hardy. So we're seeing celebrities get involved in jiu-jitsu. We're seeing celebrities, sports athletes competing and now getting involved. So it's only a matter of time for it to get into a broadcast. Listen, the sport of grappling is growing. You got to take things into context as to where it came from and where it's at now. If it wasn't this big of an event, number one, IBJJF Worlds in the gi would have never sold out. You say, oh, because of Gordon Ryan, he doesn't compete in the gi, but yet it's still sold out. This ADCC is the biggest event ever. So the sport of grappling is doing fine. It's growing, it's improving, it's getting there. This is DROD'S MMA Boxing. Hit the like button, subscribe, tell me what y'all think. Am I right about this whole grappling thing, or am I wrong? Pieces.